Some new reports are going around involving Bianca Belair, so we'll see what's going on there. We'll also check out some updates for Baron Corbin, a potential trade, and more. Let's start things off with Bianca Belair. There was a rumor going around recently that WWE could be getting ready to perform the first official superstar trade of the year. The rumor was that SmackDown's Bianca Belair and the Street Profits would be getting moved over to Raw in exchange for 3 other superstars going back to SmackDown. And the rumor was instantly met with some raised eyebrows because the draft was just a few months back, and superstars are already being moved and shifted around. It definitely was a bit confusing, but some fans figured that, well, maybe they really wanted to shift those 3 superstars over to Raw to balance things out. But in an update to that rumor, reports now claim that there is no truth to the rumors of Bianca Belair and the Street Profits being traded to Raw at this time. So a lot of fans thought it was pretty bogus sounding from the start, and that's exactly what the rumor turned out to be. WWE does like to do small trades between brands every here and there, sprinkled in between the year, but it just doesn't make much sense to have one right now when we are still only a few weeks removed from the draft. So maybe at the end of the year, that would be the ideal time for WWE to get some trades going if they want, just to provide a bit more of freshness for the brands, since it'll be several more months since the draft took place at that point in time. As far as things go with Bianca Belair and the Street Profits, things are definitely developing there, and it's been something that we've been closely watching for a few weeks. Bianca's only been on the main roster for 3 years, but she's picked up 3 WrestleMania victories, won multiple world titles, beat several top stars, and always stays on top of the division all year long, even when she isn't holding a championship. But like we've been seeing ever since Night of Champions, Bianca Belair's character has been going through a bit of a rough patch recently on WWE television. And not really a rough patch as far as a losing streak, but a rough patch as far as getting cut in line for the title. Wrongfully disrespected by Adam Pearce and management, and just getting wrongfully punished without truly doing anything wrong. She's been trying to be patient and do the right thing over the last few weeks, but this rough patch has still been continuing for her. WWE had a similar sort of story going on a few years ago with the entire Naomi and Sonya Deville feud. But that one was a bit different because Sonya was intentionally trying to screw Naomi out of different opportunities, and it was just personal. But it had a very similar concept. Naomi was doing nothing wrong. She just simply asked for an opportunity to showcase what she had as a former women's champion, but something always came up and became a roadblock for Naomi in that story. The Naomi and Sonya story was intriguing towards the start and a bit at the middle, but the story didn't really have a big payoff, so it became a bit forgettable. So now, with Bianca Belair and Adam Pearce's story, there are some similarities there to the Naomi and Sonya story. But there are some pretty notable differences, and it does seem like this story is headed for a bigger payoff. Unlike Sonya Deville, Adam Pearce doesn't seem to truly have it out for Bianca Belair. Adam Pearce is a pretty neutral character. He doesn't lean over to a heel or babyface side. He stays right in the middle and is fair to all WWE superstars for the most part. So it's not Adam Pearce having a secret agenda against Bianca Belair. He's just trying to balance everything out. There's so much he's responsible for, and sometimes superstars just end up getting the short end of the stick for this fair decision making. And that's been the case so far for Bianca Belair. She hasn't done anything wrong per se, but she keeps coming out on the losing end of Adam's decisions. That's why the big rumor and potential payoff that the fans think we'll see in this story is a Bianca Belair heel turn. And when you look at the last few weeks of Bianca Belair getting screwed over for basically being too nice, you can see why Bianca's character may turn to the dark side. She sees that all the heels around her are getting title matches, rewards, and titles for being bad, while she's getting nothing for playing by the rules. And if they do decide to go down that heel route for Bianca Belair, It would be pretty huge because Bianca has never been a heel on the main roster. She spent some time as a heel in NXT, but she's been a true babyface on the main roster ever since 2020. So in Bianca's mind, maybe it just hasn't been a few weeks of feeling like she's getting overlooked for being too nice. Maybe that feeling has been there boiling up inside of her for even longer than that. So that's why everyone expects for this current story for Bianca Belair to include this massive turning point of her character turning heel. And it does sound pretty exciting because it'll be a complete 180 to what we're so used to seeing from Bianca Belair. No more just smiling and letting things go by. Now she'll be vicious. She'll take what she wants. Just show a whole new side to herself that she probably didn't even show during her NXT heel days. So that part of the entire situation and anticipating that heel turn is very exciting. We've seen Bianca Belair absolutely dominate WWE over the last 3 years as a babyface, but could she be moments away from starting another dominant run as a heel this time around? Bianca Belair's situation will definitely be interesting to keep an eye on. There's finally some major updates for Baron Corbin. Corbin's last few years in WWE have been full of so many different acts and personas for his character. He was originally the Lone Wolf. He became a constable. He became king. He then lost it all as he broke version of himself. He hit the jackpot to become Happy Corbin. He was paired with JBL, but that didn't last too long. And then he went undrafted in the 2023 WWE Draft. He even had a match a few months back on SmackDown that saw him getting squashed within moments. And he recently started making some appearances on NXT as well. So fans have been very concerned about Corbin's status and what's going on there. And reports did claim that there were plans for Baron Corbin and how those plans included him going undrafted. It seems like we now know what the payoff is for Corbin getting undrafted and returning to NXT. It was all for him to return back to his original Lone Wolf persona. Baron Corbin brought back the Lone Wolf persona on the June 27th edition of NXT for the first time in several years. And it was met with a great reception from the fans in the arena and fans online. So it was definitely a big moment for Baron Corbin. He's been very vocal about how he wanted to bring back the Lone Wolf with an extra added mix of things from his other personas. And it looks like that's exactly what he could have going for him right now. It looks like being ignored and going undrafted in the 2023 draft, along with returning to his old stomping grounds of NXT, has awakened something within Corbin that made him return to his roots. We'll have to see if Baron Corbin could pick up a deal with either Raw or SmackDown now that he's got his edge back. But what are your thoughts on today's stories with Bianca Belair, the rumored trade, and Baron Corbin? Leave your comments below. Don't forget to subscribe with all notifications on, and leave a like if you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, guys.